What's up, dudes? My name is Nick. Welcome back for another news/opinion video on my channel. We're going to be kind of talking about crazy fans in K-pop who think that they are possessive and have ownership over K-pop idols, and why I think that companies should actually stand up to these people and not really bend to their will like they frequently do. And this is spurred on by a fan translation, I put that in quotation marks because it's not an accurate translation, of the apology letter that Edawn wrote on the Pentagon fan cafe to apologize to his fans for the circumstances, or for, I guess, the end result, I suppose you can say, of him basically revealing, of him and HyunA, I think, actually revealing that they've been dating in secret for, a couple of years now, which I think, obviously, the people in my sphere of the K-pop world are like really happy for them, of course, because dating and finding somebody that you like spending time with on a really, really close, level is really awesome. Like, I think that's something that, like, obviously I think that's something that everybody kind of strives for. And for somebody to have found that is really, really good. I don't know why anybody could be upset about that, but there are people who are, which would be the reason why, both of them have been suspended from activities indefinitely. And they'll come back soon enough, but for the time being, they've got nowhere to go. So you can read like the entire, translated, letter or whatever at the source of my article, which I got this from Asian Junkie, because if it wasn't posted on that website, or if it wasn't shared by them, then I wouldn't have seen it, because this drama stuff isn't really in my sphere. I don't go on to like K-pop forums to look for this stuff. I wouldn't have known. This would have gone right past me, and then we wouldn't be here making this video if I didn't see it. So thanks to them, you can read the entire thing, and then you can also be happy that I'm making this video. But the final the final like paragraph, or the final couple of sentences that the writer of the article on Asian Junkie actually said is a really good, highlight of what actually went down. You can read the entire thing for yourself and just see how crazy it is. But the thing is that, so the final couple of sentences is that they say, like, it's telling that they believe that the translation of this post is egregious. All of the things that, which is like all of the things that they've called out Edawn for are some like super, absolutely unforgivable sins that he's committed, and like why he should be in the doghouse for like eternity, right? So that's kind of the thing, is like, it's really telling that the worst things that they can come up with are some of these things. So in reality, while it would be blunt, it would also be like, fine. Like, their translation boils down to him hypothetically saying that he wants to have a love life, that the company is screwing him over, and that he wants to return like nothing happened soon, right? That's the worst case that these people can read into the situation. And I feel like it's telling as to what the stakes are, which is nothing to anybody of sound mind, which I 100% agree with that take. And that is an accurate summarization of what this fan translation is because they are basically criticizing him for, wanting to live his life, have a love life, date some people, and also being upset by the fact, or by the way that the company is treating him by suspending him. And of course, all of this is really, there's nothing to this to, people such as myself, for the person who wrote this on Asian Junkie, or everyone who I saw on the Reddit post, who was like, super happy for him, or a lot of people in, like I said, my sphere of the K-pop world, who just like have no issue with this and are just glad that this dude's being a young man and dating people and, doing stuff like that and living life. That's what it's all about. Doing something you enjoy, being with people that you enjoy being around, and having fun. Whatever your fun is, it doesn't really matter. It's none of my business, but for the fact that that a fan would pretty much say that, to highlight, and this is like, I think, the most ludicrous line of the entire thing, but the fan actually translated the line where he basically said, like, I talked it over with the members of the group. They said they were fine with me revealing this. And so then the fans' response to that, or the translation, was that the members agreed to me going public with the relationship, so it's not my fault, I'm right. Which is like, duh. like, my opinion as a fan in the state of Kentucky in the United States of America just doesn't really mean that much in the context of the people that he spends his time with on like a daily basis. Like, his closest friends, I think their opinion matters more than mine does. Like, I would not even imagine a sentence like that popping into my brain or even coming out of my mouth or my fingers onto the internet. I couldn't even imagine that, because what I think and what he does with his personal relationship and how open he is about it, it doesn't have a effect on me personally. It doesn't bring me down. It doesn't do anything like that. But that sentence right there is the epitome, or it is the thing that highlights that the person who wrote this and other people who are mad at Edawn for dating HyunA, they think that they own him. They think that their opinion and their desires for him and what he's going to do in the public eye is the end all be all. And the thing is that obviously in reality, what they think is not the most important thing. Like, if I was, trying to control their lives like they're trying to control his, they would be very, very upset with me about that. They would not be happy. They would not like it at all. But the sad thing is that in K-pop in general, and this isn't something that is limited to Cube Entertainment, it is, SM, YG, JYP, pick a K-pop company, and they are also guilty of doing this as well. But they bend the knee, they bow down to fans like this on a consistent basis, because when fans rise up and they, are publicly angry like this, then the companies get down on their hands and knees and they beg for forgiveness and they say, I'm sorry, I did wrong, and this idol is now repenting and, reflecting on what they did wrong. We will do better in the future. And you are, bowing down and giving what is in reality a, very vocal but minor part of the fandom. You're giving them the most power over the lives of your idols, of your, I guess if you want to be really like inhumane, you're giving them power over your assets. You're giving them power over to control and dictate the, life of these people, in this specific instance, Edawn, and also, I guess, by proxy, HyunA as well. And it just isn't the way that it should be. You should not be giving this minority, this small section of the Pentagon fan base, this much power. You should not be acknowledging that while, yes, they are upset with them, but we are very, very concerned that I guess you're going to, lose, or that we're going to lose all support for this group. They shouldn't be bowing down to these people. And I think too, that while, like, yes, maybe it is a Korean thing that they are very, very hypercritical of a lot of things like this, but if people in K-pop, if people in the industry and members of groups want stuff like this to change, if they want the fans to, kind of just let them live their lives more, then like they have to stand up for themselves. The company, I mean, if the idols can't do it, if they're not going to do it because it's deemed improper for them to act, then at the very least, the company needs to defend them. The company needs to stand up for them, put their weight behind the members and say, hey, fans, if Edawn wants to date whoever he wants to date, he can date that person. He can be open about it. And, they can be close and intimate on whatever TV shows or in music videos or behind the scenes videos or whatever. They can just live their lives. It's not your life to live. I'll let them live their lives. And if there's people that want to be like, okay, well, I'm not going to buy stuff from Pentagon, then that's fine. You don't really want them to be in your fan base anyway, because they are not your real super diehard fans. They might think they are, but if they're not going to support the members of the group living their lives like any other human being would want to live their lives, then they are not really their serious fans. Buying records, streaming the songs, going to fan events, attending music shows, singing the fan chants, going to live performances, that's all something that fans do. But real fans, real, true, honest to God, diehard fans, would support the idols of their groups living their lives, doing whatever it is that they want to do. And I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that this would also include leaving the group and going off and doing their own thing. Like, they would not necessarily call those people snakes and traitors. you know, like real true fans would support these people with doing whatever it is that they want to do. And I don't like going and saying, like, you know, kind of defining what a true fan is, but true fans don't turn on people and dump them because this person wants to live their life and date. Whereas, you know, when in a reality, when the person who is criticizing the idol for doing that is in actuality a hypocrite, because if me or somebody else or their boss or whoever was criticizing them for who they were dating and what they were doing in their personal life, then they would probably be a little upset about that as well. At least I think so. Maybe they'd be perfectly fine with their boss saying that you can and cannot date people, you know, but it would just be nice. It would just be nice if K-pop idols were allowed to date publicly. If we had known about this relationship between HyunA and Edawn 2 years ago, that would have been really nice to know about. Or at the very least that they didn't need to be outed if they didn't want to be public about it. And that just fans just like didn't give a shit that they're dating or that they're doing whatever it is that they're doing, whether they're dating or not. I don't care what these idols do, but to see fans who are so hung up on things that idols do that don't actually affect them in their personal life is crazy to me. And what even drives me even more crazy is to see companies like Cube Entertainment in this instance who validate those insane, super possessive fans by actually reacting to the things that they say and their dramatic reaction, as opposed to, you know, kind of looking more at what I think is the majority of fans, whether they're Korean or international fans, who are actually really, really supportive of the situation and what these people are doing. So that's what I've got to say. If this is something that is actually, you know, a little bit of a difference in the, you know, fan culture amongst Koreans versus Americans or international fans, I'd be interested to hear if, you know, what you guys think about that topic, or if that's actually the case. I think it might actually play a little bit of a role, but I'm not entirely sure if it's just exaggerated because, you know, my exposure to Korean fan bases and their interactions is through, you know, sites that don't necessarily give them the most positive, you know, image, or just my exposures to the bad stuff as opposed to the good stuff. You know, it could, my perception could be very much different. So I would like to get everyone's perspective, whether you're Korean. I would like to know what you guys got to say. If you're American, if you're from wherever, I want to know what you guys think about this and what your thoughts are on what I have got to say. So if you agree with me, that's cool. If you don't agree with me, that's also really, really awesome. No matter where you fall on the spectrum of this idea or this discussion, I was going to call it a debate, but I don't think anyone's necessarily right or wrong. But wherever you fall on this discussion, I want to know what you guys think about it. So let me know in the comments below whether you agree with me or you don't, or you completely disagree with me, or you fall somewhere in the middle, something like that. You find yourself in the middle ground. I want to know what you guys think. So let me know in the comments below. And, you know, like I said, don't be afraid to share your thoughts, because this community we're trying to build is all about having some free and open discussion about our thoughts and opinions, no matter what they are. So if you want to join that community, click on the subscribe button down below. And of course, click the bell icon to make sure that you get all of my videos on YouTube so that you see whenever I upload something brand new on YouTube. So that's it for this video, guys. As always, I want to thank you for watching, and I will see you all next time.